afternoon, everyone. We are Group 1. I'm Sam Liu. She is Michelle Liu Mengting, and Jojo is absent today. Today we are going to make comments on Group 4. We divide our comment into 6 parts. Warming up, vocabulary, scenario 1, edges, discussion question, and activity 1. I'm in charge of warming up vocabulary and scenario 1. Before the presentation, let's talk about the former group's presentation to make connection with today's content. And for warming up, explain what is B2C, B2B, and B2C in detail. And for the vocabulary part, Ruby give us different definition of words and synonyms. And she also introduced some idioms first. And for the scenario 1, they all participate in the drama instead of 2 people. And they all have the proper hand gestures and good intonation, speaking intonation. Yes, I will give the floor to Michelle.
Hello everyone, I am Michelle and I'm in charge of their hedges, discussion question and activity part. As for their hedges, this group has shown the options on the slides instead of just a brief one slide, which is good so that we all know which one to choose from. So I think that's good. And Angel tried her very best to explain each hedges as clear as she possibly could, and also she tried to make sure that we really understand her explanations by asking, do y'all get it? Or something like that. And she also gave a brief conclusion by the end of the hedges. As for their discussion question, instead of just creating a drama out of nowhere, they adapted it from the previous listening practice, and during the drama Ruby has many vivid hand gestures, and it makes the drama certainly more lively than it could be. Also, instead of just getting straight to the main points, they use pictures and wordings to support their point. And also checklist. Lastly, when they were explaining useful ways to attract visitors, they used their own group members as an example, like the professional appearance and giving out flyers. That's very interesting because none of us had ever really done that before. As for their activity 1, they use a timeline to show what we need to do before, during, and after an exhibition. And instead of listing out the timeline in bullet points, they give a sloping graph, a curve graph, which makes everything more simple and everything more condensed. So they only show keywords, which we can understand quite quickly. Besides the curves, they also show the budgeting plan for when planning an exhibition. Many of us might be taken away whenever we plan an exhibition and not think about monetary problems. And I'm glad they did point that out, so now we know how to budget in the future. In conclusion, we've talked about their warming up, vocabulary, scenario, hedges, activity 1, and discussion questions. Personally, I think the 3 of them have become more at ease when presenting up here, and I think the 3 of them have improved greatly compared to last semester or the previous presentations before. And also I want to point out, Angel has always been a great PowerPoint designer when she was in a group with us, and now she makes even a better PowerPoint slides. So good for you all. Thank you. I shall give the floor.
Good afternoon, everyone. We are Group 2. Today we are going to give a comment on Group 4's performance. I'm Emma, she's Nina, and she's Sarah. Dina is absent today. First of all, we will divide our comments into 6 points. Warming up, vocabulary, scenario 1, page, discussion question, and activity. First of all, we think they are very, very diligent people because they pay so much effort in the presentation, and we learn a lot from their presentation, and we are very impressive about their performance. So I think the result of their presentation is very outstanding. However, there's a small disadvantage about their presentation is that because their contents period is longer than other group presentation, we think instead of Angel, Ruby, and Dory's speaking intonation can be more with up and downs because they can, so that the audience can pay more attention longer to their presentation. I will be in charge of their warming up and vocabulary. First of all, when Dory is talking about B2B and B2C's explanation, she not only explained the key points on the PPT slide, but she also used her own words to give us further explanation. And she gave us a small exercise about what the responsibilities of exhibitors and visitors. We think that can let us memorize and remember what the responsibilities of exhibitors and visitors. This is very helpful for us. Also, when Ruby is talking about the vocabularies, she not only gave us a lot of explanation on the PPT slide, she also gave us another example sentences when she's trying to explain. That would be useful for us to remember the vocabulary when it's our first time to attach to the new vocabulary. And next I'm going to give the floor to Nina.
Hello, I'm Nina. I'm in charge of Scenario 1 and H part. First of all, in Scenario 1, all of them play important role in the drama, and in the conversation I discovered some good points. For example, they had hand gestures to support his word, and they speak with intonation so we can feel their emotion, then we don't feel a burden in the short. And after they finish this part, they give us a brief conclusion to remind us of what they talk about before. And in H part, I think Angel really did a great job because she introduced the function of H in detail and gave us a comprehensive explanation. And before she talked about the function of H, she gave us the meaning of the H to make us understand how the H is important. And in addition, when audience doesn't know what the function is, she used different way to explain the function to us. I think it's really useful. Next, I will give the floor to Sarah.
Hi, I'm Sarah. I'm in charge of discussion, question, and activity part. In discussion question part, they talk about some methods to exhibitors, what kind of things they should do, such as promote, attract, and use visual appeals to the visitors, and they use some pictures to support the meanings of the letters. I think it's useful for me, and next activity part they explained what should we do during the exhibition, after the exhibition, and before the exhibition. Very detailed. I think I learned a lot from them. This is the end of our comments. Next, I will give the floor to group 3.
Hello everyone, we are group 3 and I'm Coco. There are my group members Rose, Tina. Today I'm in charge of Angel's part. As usual, Angel did a great job perform a presentation because she always smiles and she has firm eye contact with the audience all the time. My favorite part of her is the hedge part and that is the only part that she mainly introduced, because when someone chooses the wrong answer, she will give fuller explanation to make sure that we all understand the meaning of the hedge. And I think that is really great because maybe some person, they would just go through that part and without telling you the true meaning of the right answer. And that is the end of my comments. Now I will give the floor to Rose.
Hello, I'm Rose. Now I'm going to make comment on Ruby. She explained the vocabulary in details. Different from previous group, she gave more information to the vocabulary, such as tell us how to use should as a verb or as a noun, and prep to describe the space or time. In the discussion question, the content is very well organized. They had done little scenario but also detailed explanation and demonstration to support the idea how to promote and attract the visitors. The demonstration is very impressed and made our memory deeper. Besides, she acted adorably in the scenario. She gave many gestures. For example, she gestured one for first, and she smiled and had full eye contact to us all the time. I believe she made a lot of effort for this presentation and she really did well. This is the end of my comments. Now I will give the floor to Tina.
Hello, I'm Tina. I'm going to make comment on Dory. In her part, she told us what was important for attendees and exhibitors and the preparation for exhibition. She used gesture to support her point, and she also gave us many detailed examples to explain what she had said. In addition, she has many transition words to make her presentation more fluently. Therefore, I think she gave us a well presentation. This is the end of my part. In conclusion, we have talked about their individual performance. We think they did a good job. Next, I will give the floor to Group 5. Thank you.
into 6 parts. I'm in charge of warming up and vocabulary. Before starting the warming up, I have noticed that Angel gave us a review about last unit, which make us quickly review what we have learned last week and connect what we will learn today. And in the warming up part, Dory showed us the differences between B2B and B2C treasure. Also, she gave us lots of examples and explained its functions and purpose deeply. In addition, she points out the benefits of attending the trade show. I think it's very useful and detailed because whether you are a visitor or an exhibitor, knowing what is important for you is the main thing for participate the exhibition. And in vocabulary part, Ruby used her own words to explain the meaning to us. Also, when she showed us the example sentences, she will give us the further explanation or change some words of the sentences to make us understand it easily. Next, I will give the floor to Ellie.
Hello, I'm Ellie. I am in charge of page and discussion questions. I would like to talk about page first. In this part, Angel did a really good job. She not only gave a clear explanation about the page, but also asked us the question, could you understand that? Are you okay? And then try hard to explain the function of the page in detail, and make sure that we could really understand the page. She really tried her best and hardworking in this part. She devoted a lot in this presentation. I love her hardworking very much. And when it's moved on to the discussion questions, I would like to say that they are really brilliant because they adapt the listening practice to create a scenario for us to understand how to promote the track show business in this part. Also, we can know the strategies about how we can do to attract the people to our booth. Most importantly, they act the scenario. They show us a play to demonstrate how they attract the people, use the voice, the sound, the things, and also the appearance about the stuffs. I think they really impress our memory, so we can learn it from their presentation and use into our work if we do the exhibition work in the future. This is the end of my comments. I would like to give the floor to Bonnie.
Hi, I'm Bonnie. I'm in charge of the activity 1 and their inside story. I will divide my comment into 3 points. The first one is they use colorful pictures and also simple keywords to support what they have talked about when explaining the procedure of making the trade show. Then they use the timeline to tell us what we need to do before the trade show. So I think we can know the order of making the trade show in our mind. Besides, as for their budget, they also use the pictures of dollars and some keywords besides. I think it's more interesting and easier for us to read and remember it. This is very different from the itemized points. Ruby also gives us the complete conclusion to make us have a quick review about their whole presentation. So I can have a quick review about their presentation right away. Finally, as for their inside story, I noticed that they are the only group who will itemize what they do during the preparation in this part. They there is no any group did that before. I think this is really great and we can learn from that. In conclusion, today we have talked about their vocabulary, H, their warming up vocabulary, H, discussion question, activity 1, and their inside story. This is the end of our comments. Next, I will give my floor to group 6. Thank you.
Hi everyone, we are group 6. I call. They are my group members, Noe and Angel. Today we are going to make a comment on group 4. Now it's my turn to make a comment on Angel, and I have 3 points. Now it's my turn to make a comment on Angel, and I have 3 points. First, before they start their presentation, Angel gave us a quick review of the trade show. I really appreciate this part because we may forget the content which Group 2 and Group 3 present few weeks ago. By doing so, we can deepen our impression and get into their presentation soon. Second, in the scenario part, Angel gave us a short summary and conclusion. A short summary and conclusion according to their conversation. I think it is a quite good way for me to have a quick review and know what they are talking about next. Besides, Angel hold a meeting well because she discussed with her employees and made the right decision finally. When they are having a conversation, Angel smiles all the time. I can feel their atmosphere is natural. Finally, in the H part, Angel tells us the 2 definitions first. She explained this part in an easy way, which made me understand quickly. However, I can suggest you can demonstrate the example sentence first, and then ask us to answer the other ones. Next, I will give the floor to Zoe.
Hello everyone, I'm Zoe. I'm charged in Ruby's part. First of all, I think Ruby is really an excellent presenter because in vocabulary part, she used her own word to explain to us, and also she gave us different examples to let us understand the further meanings. It's really a great way to, it is really easy to understand. As for scenario and discussion question part, she is also a good actress. She has proper eye contact with other actors. Instead of just reading the line to us, she changed her intonation and had hand gesture. I think she make the whole drama more vivid and more natural. And the last, in discussion question part, Ruby itemized all the main points on the screen and gave and explained to us again. I think it's really a great way to enhance our memories. Next, I'm going to give the floor to Angela.
Hi, I'm Angela. I will talk about Dory's performance. It's helpful for us that Dory made comparison between B2B and B2C in detail. Besides, she lists many benefits of trade show. I think it's complete in her speech. After she introduced the B2B and the B2C, she made a short conclusion, finish the warming up part. In the activity 1, she showed the arrangement of trade show. And I think the slide of preparing time is clear. Also, she has natural intonation and keep eye contact with audience. In conclusion, we think we can learn a lot from their presentation and the performance. Also, we can learn a lot of information of the trade show after their presentation. Next, I will give the floor to Group 7. Thank you.
Hello everyone, we are Group 7. We will divide our comments into 3 parts. Here is my team member. I'm Ace, Leo, and Leonardo. Leo Huang is absent today. First, I'm going to talk about the organization. I think they have a good organization because here's my 3 reasons. First, in their introduction, they told what they are going to talk. It hooked the audience and made us understand what they are going to talk in. It's a very good introduction. Then they have a review. To be honest, I lost my attention in the presentation, but because they have a good review, so I quickly rejoin the conversation again. Finally, they have a good conclusion. It refreshes our memory about what they have teach us. In conclusion, because they have a good organization. Because of 3 reasons, they have a good organization. I'm going to give my floor to Leo.
Hi, I'm Leo. I'm going to talk about their stage performance. First of all, I think they get well prepared and pay a lot of effort in these presentations. They show their confidence and present smoothly, fluently, and naturally as well. Moreover, they will not keep looking at the PPT slide. They will have a great eye contact with the audience. In addition, in the drama part, they have the emotions in their drama. They are really in the scenario, so everything looks vividly. That's great. Now I'm giving my floor to Leonardo.
I am Leonardo. I'm going to talk about their PPT design. They made a lot of pages this time. It's good, and they have lots of colorful word and picture. They use the different color to help us distinguish the topic and the content. This is good to see the main point and outline point clearly. And in the vocabulary part, they have example sentence and use the red word to show up their main point. And in addition, they incorporate different picture into every slide on vocabulary part. That can help us to memorize the word with the picture and know what it actually looks like. Now I'll give the floor to Group 4.
Let me just announce the best work without asking them to read the regular.
First, I want to thank Dr. Liang and my group member, also everyone. I think I really improved because of these course.
It's not a curse, it's a course.
Sorry. Although prepare the presentation is difficult, but I really like the time we
get together to prepare for the presentation. We really need to come up with ideas and use our own words to present to everyone. Also, I like the feeling of cooperation. In addition, I like the way Dr. Liang teaches us because you let us share, you like to ask us to share our opinions or our thoughts. Therefore, we think the whole class get closer in this semester.
Thank you.
Thank you. And next, I will give the floor to Angel.
Hi, I'm Angel. First, I want to thank Dr. Liang's instructions because we learned a lot of things that we don't know previously, such as hate or the filler words that we have to focus. And I want to thank for my group members. We really spent a lot of time. Our second inside story, we spent a whole afternoon to produce our presentation. And finally, I want to thank everyone's comments. We really liked and we improved a lot in this presentation. Next, I'll give the floor to Ruby.
Hello everyone. Firstly, I want to thank Dr. Liang and all of you to give us such a precious comment. We really learned a lot from you. Then I want to thank my team members, Angel and Doris. They are really considerate and kind. It is the last time we make our presentation and discuss our presentation together. I think I will appreciate the time we've been together. Here we want to say sorry for you because we always make our presentation for a long time. So sorry. In conclusion, we hope maybe in the future we can apply something from our presentations. Of course, your presentations also what Dr. Liang has taught to us. We can make use of this presentation efficiently. Now we want to talk about our best comment. I will give the floor to Angel.
We really like everyone's comment, but we have to choose one group. We choose group 1 as our best comment. Everyone's comment is very comprehensive, but we think that Michelle, she always talk about her own feeling about our presentation, not just our advantage or disadvantage. So we think that is very great. Good.
Any questions about today's lesson? If not, since we are running out of time, I'll let you go. And let's give them big hands again.